the authority of the second. Generally, the sages were opposed together. I don't think I was
Howdy. Oh, we are. Very natural. Very, very.
Right, that's what I was saying before. I surprised when
Good evening. Sorry to interrupt the learning. Just a few short reminders before I introduce our speaker for tonight. First of all, if everyone could just please, when you come in, to not forget to sign in. It just helps me to... You don't hear? Okay. If everyone can just please remember to sign in when they come in, and if you didn't sign in tonight, just sign in on your way out. It just helps me to keep track of anyone that is, not coming, or someone new coming that I would like to have them put in. Another reminder is we have a beautiful library, and everyone's welcome to use any books from the library in the Torch Center. But if you could please try to remember to put the books back before you leave after Partners in Torah, we would really appreciate it. We don't have anyone on our staff. Thank you, forgot the words. That we pay them to put books away. So if you can please try to do that before you leave, it would be appreciated. Another thing is, if anyone is still interested in sponsoring, I know that at some point I had a long list, and I've had to push off people, and I might have forgotten about you, or it might have fell through the cracks, or you thought you wanted to sponsor and you forgot about it. So please just contact me, come over to me. I try to write it all down and keep track of it. Just remind me if you haven't sponsored yet, and I'll put you in the calendar. And as I like to do with the last Partners in Torah of that month, I would like to wish happy birthday to our partners that gave me your birth dates. And so, first of all, my husband, Rabbi Meir Gurnitsky, happy birthday. And Rabbi Johnny's wife, Devorah Ouzzan, also had a birthday this month. She's not here, but happy birthday. And another one of the partners that are not here, Alex Saburov, I always forget how to pronounce that. Well, if you're watching on Facebook Live, happy birthday. So tonight, Rabbi Johnny Ouzzan will be speaking, and I'm sure everyone is anxious to hear what he has to say. Okay. Sorry, one more thing. There is a challah bake, which I think there hasn't been for a while, and we are happy to have it again, the challah bake at the Torch Center on June 5th at what time? 7:30? 7:30, June 5th, challah bake at the Torch Center. Hope to see you all there. And one more thing, please encourage your friends to come to Partners in Torah. I've mentioned it before. You get Starbucks gift cards if you bring a friend. So I hope that's enough of an incentive. And you're giving someone else the opportunity to learn some more Torah. So please encourage your friends to join.
Good evening, everybody. It says in the Pirkei Avot, Hakina v'atava v'akavod motzi'in et ha'adam min ha'olam. Jealousy, lust, and honor take a person away from this world. The Ben Ish Chai says that if you convert any of those three negative traits for the good, you can actually earn merit in using those negative traits. The first of those traits is jealousy. And I want to say something a little bit controversial. I am jealous of Rabbi Wolbe. When you look around at the room and you see everybody here learning, and you realize that in Judaism there really is such a thing as a pyramid scheme. It sounds shady, but it's true. And that is that every single letter of Torah that you learn, and that you teach, and that you cause others to learn, draws its source back to you. The beauty is that he's not even doing it for himself. He actually really enjoys seeing all of us here learning. And for that, I really think we all appreciate and thank you, Rabbi, for making this such a home for all of us, for the staff, for the students. And may this just keep growing. And Mrs. Granitsky for just creating an amazing, amazing program. I just want to say a couple... We just came out of Shavuot. And it dawned on me that, we have all of our students coming and learning on a pretty regular basis over here. We want to know, what is it that we're doing really? We're opening up these old texts, many of them from thousands of years ago, and we are here in 2018. And what's the idea? What are we really hoping to gain? What are we trying to do? One of the most impactful classes I've ever listened to in my life was by Rabbi Breitowitz of the Yeshiva Or Sameach. And he discussed the idea that when you're learning, you have the written Torah, you have the oral law. If you've been to any Torch class, you've heard of the difference between those two. And the obvious difference between the written law and the oral law is exactly that, is that the written law was written in a Torah physical format. The oral law was given orally from Moshe to Yoshua down the line, until eventually there was so much information that it had to be committed to writing, and hence you have the Talmud, you have the Mishnah, you have the Gemara. What's an example of where oral law makes itself relevant? So raise your hands if you know, you don't have to give me the answer, raise your hands if you know what the color of tefillin is. Okay? Half the room doesn't know what color tefillin is? I'm not going to test you on this. Raise your hand if you know what shape tefillin are. Raise your hand if you know what material tefillin is made of. Raise your hand if you believe that any of the answers to those questions are found in the written Torah. Okay, so you're all right. The answer to every single one of those questions is found in the oral law. You find it in the Gemara. The Gemara extrapolates those ideas from the Torah. The $1 million question that I want to address tonight is, why is God playing these games with us? Where he's giving us a written Torah, he's giving us an oral Torah, we have to somehow find a balance between the two. Why not just give it to us straight? Why not let us know, for example, in the Torah, you will wear black, boxed, leather phylacteries? Why do we have to investigate the oral law? And this is the principle that I connected so much to this idea, and it's so true. Because let's face it, you know why we're here? Because we recognize the effect that Torah has on those who make a life out of it. Those people who are most involved in learning it and living their lives by it. And the question is, what is that? There is something about learning Torah and the give and take between two partners learning Torah, especially the oral Torah. There is something about that process that creates a relationship between us and our Creator. And you know what? It's not easy. It's very, very difficult. Nothing that's worthwhile in life is ever easy. And the thing in life that is the most worthwhile is the connection that we so desperately need and want with our Creator. And the best way to get that relationship and that connection is through our own investment of time. You love your children? It's because you've invested in the time with them, in the chesed, in the kindness that you've done to them. You love your spouse? It's directly linked to the amount of investment and giving that you are doing with that spouse, with anything, with your business, with your organization. Whatever it is in life, there's a direct correlation between your effort, your investment, and the affection that lies within. And the same is true with Hashem. The same is true with Torah. And that's why the system that we have in this program, I think, is so great. Because we're doing everything we ought to be doing to facilitate a real, genuine, beautiful connection between us and Hashem. And I just want to finish with what I spoke about over Shabbat. So some of you may have already heard this, but this really ties in very nicely to the reason why the Parsha of Bamidbar, which we just had this past Shabbat, is juxtaposed every year to Shavuot. There is always Parashat Bamidbar leading up to Shavuot. And the question is, obviously, why? What's the connection between Bamidbar and Shavuot? Every single year, they're together. One of the central themes of the Parsha of Bamidbar is the idea that when the Jewish people were counted, they each gave a half shekel to a pot, and it was those half shekels that were counted, and it was the counting of those half shekels that determined the population of the Jewish people. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein says that it's not by coincidence that the parsha that discusses this currency, that every Jew, regardless of age, regardless of background, regardless of wisdom, all had to give the same amount, it is no coincidence that that is right near Shavuot. Why? Because, my friends, you're all in this room, we're all in this together, and we each have this Torah as a heritage. It's ours, right? Morasha Kehilat Yaakov. It's ours. It's all of ours. God didn't say it only belongs to those with the high IQ. It only belongs to the Orthodox. It only belongs to the traditional. It only, etc., etc. It's all of ours. This is the idea of Shavuot, and this is really what this program is all about. We each have a chance to develop and earn greatness in our study of Torah. And to that end, I really want to inspire all of you and encourage all of us together to not settle for any mediocrity when it comes to Torah. Don't come in here and get intimidated in any way and think, you know what, we're going to study something light. I don't know what my capacities are like. Give yourself a chance. The Torah is yours for the taking. And it's the one thing in life where directly related to the investment lies the fruit, lies the outcome. Some people in business, they're not cut out for it. Some people are more mathematically inclined. Some people are more scientifically inclined, biologically inclined, whatever it is. But when it comes to Torah, you're Jewish, it's yours. It's yours for the taking. And how fortunate are we to have such an amazing, amazing program that gives it to you on a silver platter and food platters as well. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and we'll see you next week for Partners in Torah. Thank you.